immortalized.
Well, who will be immortalized today? A national champion will be crowned. Will it be South Carolina or UCLA? As we welcome you courtside. Hey everybody, Ryan Rucco alongside the Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo. So happy to be with you for the national championship game here on ABC. Rebecca, familiar territory for South Carolina, playing in the national championship game for a third straight year, and they are led by an All-American sophomore, Joyce Edwards.
The 6'2" versatile big for South Carolina. Joyce Edwards has led this team all season long, just under 20 points per game. She can get into the paint, she can face from the perimeter, she can wreak havoc on the defensive end of the floor. Efficiency as well, shooting 58% on the season, leading the way, playing incredibly well here in the NCAA tournament.
South Carolina, a dominant run. 5 consecutive 35-win seasons, second most all-time. 5 title game appearances in the last 10 years and 3 national titles. Meanwhile, for UCLA, they are in their first title game in the NCAA era, and they are led by an All-American center, Lauren Betts.
Lauren Betts, their senior, one of their many seniors, and the experienced leader. At 6'7", she has certainly owned the paint and played at another level here in the NCAA tournament. 22.5 points a game, 70% from the field, 3 block shots. She's owning the paint. She's facing up as well, leading the charge for the Bruins.
And UCLA getting historic production from their seniors this season. 90% of their scoring, most of any Final Four team, and all of their points in the national semifinal accounted for by seniors. First time that has ever happened in the Final Four. Getting ready for action between UCLA and South Carolina. These teams did not meet in the regular season this year. They did meet last year in the fall. A UCLA win. The Bruins hoping to win a second national championship in the school's history. They also were champions back in 1978 when it was the AIAW. Time to keep the festivities going here. Let's send things over to public address announcer Jamie Coffey. Well, time to take a look at today's starting lineups, brought to you by Capital One. Let's send things back over now to public address announcer Jamie Coffey.
The starter for the Gamecocks. At 4 to 6'3" sophomore from Camden, South Carolina, number 8, Joyce Edwards. At center, 6'6" senior out of Kenya, 11, Medina Okat. At guard, a 5'9" senior from Miami, Florida, 00, Tanaya Latson.
Getting ready for the start of action here. Let's check in with another Hall of Famer. Here is Holly Rowe.
Well, imagine playing for a national championship with your best friend. That's what we see today with South Carolina's backcourt. Tania Latson and Raven Johnson have been playing side by side since they were about 14 years old. In high school at Westlake, they won 3 state championships together. They went their separate ways in college, but back together, reunited this season for their one and only college season. Their twin telepathy on the court is palpable. Raven can tell Tania where to be with a glance or a nod of her head. Likewise, Tania finds Raven in the most unique and creative ways because they feel each other on the court. When I asked about what's special with their relationship, they said, "We've done a lot of winning together," and they are right. Their record on the floor, 118-5 when they play together. We'll see if they'll add another title to their best friendship today.
Terrific stuff, Holly. And Tania Latson told us last year seeing Raven Johnson's emotion in the championship game loss was something she herself carried with her all year long as her friend. How about the seniors today tying a record, just the 3rd time ever we've had 8 senior starters in a national championship game. Here we go, UCLA, South Carolina, a champion crown today in Phoenix. Flau'Jae on the drive, tiptoes, with Okada on her on the switch. Betts gets the deep catch and banks it in.
South Carolina will play primarily man-to-man defense, but they have the option to switch multiple defenders, and that time Lauren Betts had the advantage on Edwards.
That's the multi-time All-American. Puts UCLA on the board first. Here is Latson. Oh, God, will fire. No. He's been shooting the 3 effectively late in the season. Johnson can't lay it in. Raven Johnson comes up with it. Another chance for South Carolina, and Okada cashes in.
And that is going to be a key for success. Anytime you're playing against UCLA and Lauren Betts, dribble penetration, draw the 6'7" shot blocker, and pass to a teammate for an open look. That's what we just saw.
Both Dawn Staley and Corey Close both mentioning the boards to us right away as keys as Okada able to knock that away.
This is the versatility of Joyce Edwards as your 4 player, bringing the ball down the floor, creating for herself, will also create for teammates.
UCLA had 23 turnovers in the win against Texas on Friday night, and a foul there is going to go against Okada.
I was oofing the contact 23 turnovers, but they both deserve it. And that's what you have to do when you go against a dominant big, is meet them up the lane, try to prevent them from getting low position on the block.
Ledger Walker splash on a little mid-range. Charlize Ledger Walker, the New Zealander. A transfer from Washington State. Corey Close, one of the best leaders she's ever coached. Okada, no.
A rare time that Okada at 6'6" will be going against a bigger defender with the 6'7" Betts.
Here's Rice. B.P. Rice, another one of those seniors. Flau'Jae lobbing it in. Betts, the catch and the finish.
That has been a staple of UCLA's offense all season long, since they've had Lauren Betts in a UCLA uniform. When she is high side denied on the block, they will flash a player into the high post and play the high-low.
Good start here for the Bruins, a 6-2 lead. Latson nearly lost it. Weaving, taking, can't hit, but gets the whistle. And free throws here for Tania Latson.
You see Lauren Betts doing the work, fronted by Okada. So what does the other post player do? You're taught from the time you're young. You flash to the high post, and then you look for that high-low look.
Lauren Betts, UCLA program records when it comes to field goal percentage, blocks, career points in the NCAA tournament. And she has been terrific here in her final tournament. Latson at the line in this tournament. So she's 26 of 30, but she is the first player ever in this tournament's history to have multiple games in a single tournament where she went at least 10 of 10 from the line, including what she did in the semifinal win against UConn.
In the last 3 games of the tournament, 21 of 22 from the line. She's getting there at a high clip, and she's making them when she does.
Playing with such poise in her first ever Final Four. Dugalich off the bench on the drive. Doesn't get the roll. Flau'Jae ups it in. Plus the foul.
Corey Close told us that we would see Dugalich relatively early in this game. They can now switch 1 through 4 in Jaquez. Watch where she comes from. We saw this in the semifinal game as well, Ryan. She starts outside the three-point line. You see her at the top of the screen. Has a nose for the ball, pursues it, and then the savvy to collect and finish while she's getting fouled.
Holly?
The strength and conditioning coach for UCLA told us Gabriela Jaquez's performance numbers were the output of 2 players. She was all over the floor in the national semifinals. He said it was the best he's ever seen in 2 years working at UCLA. She's got that same energy and motor here today.
She is the winningest player in program history. Miriam Dowda getting early minutes, can't hit, rebound. Controlled by South Carolina, and another chance here for the Gamecocks. Latson, Dugalich all over, popped away. Rice got a hand on it, and the Bruins control. Here's Rice, working behind Betts. Rice on the drive, beats bodies, couldn't finish. Edwards out in transition. Edwards, the Euro, left it short. Rebound caroms to Betts. Here is Rice. Neefkins, catch, fire. Can't hit. Neefkins, one of the better three-point shooters in all of college basketball. 43% on the season.
Both of these teams comfortable playing with pace, but we know with South Carolina, when they can get out in transition like Edwards did the last time, didn't convert, but those are the quick looks they're looking for.
Johnson in and out. And the rebound bounces over to Jaquez. Neefkins lobs it in. Dugalich spinning, fading. Oh, baby! What a move from Angela Dugalich.
When she is aggressive, she can find her spots, whether it's scoring around the rim or getting on the glass as well. That's been a point of emphasis for UCLA with Dugalich. They want her using her athleticism to get to the boards.
UConn also got out to an 11-4 lead on South Carolina in the semifinal, just as UCLA has right now. Dowda can't finish. Jaquez blasting ahead. Jaquez all the way in. Gets the whistle. And Gabriela Jaquez will shoot a pair.
Dugalich has good size at 6'4", faces up and then spins and turns, gets to her comfortable level, fade and finish.
Dugalich has gotten a lot of attention from WNBA front offices during this UCLA Final Four run, with 4 or 5 Bruins seniors expected to be first-round picks next Monday at the WNBA draft. Jaquez, one of them. You see, she is the winningest player in program history, and hits the first free throw. Rebecca, for a team who has not been here, like UCLA, they have looked very comfortable in the early minutes.
Usually you see a team, even a team that has been here before, in the national championship game, it takes a little bit of time, a couple minutes to catch your breath. We haven't seen that at all from UCLA.
A 7-0 run for the Bruins, 107 straight points scored by UCLA seniors. And while South Carolina has missed their last 6 shots. Tessa on the drive, hooks it in, plus the foul. When the Gamecocks need a bucket, they go to Tessa Johnson.
And oftentimes it's Raven Johnson making the call, knowing they need someone to settle them, and that Tessa Johnson will.
Started in 1982, and Corey Close has taken the Bruins to back-to-back Final Fours after they had not been in the NCAA era. Tessa Johnson completes the three-point play. And again, that's a theme we've seen all season. We saw against UConn the other night. When South Carolina needs a bucket, they go to Tessa. Here's Rice working behind the freshman Sienna Betts. Rice, mid-range, off the mark, poked in the air, battled by Betts, but Edwards wins it for the Gamecocks.
Raven Johnson has the ball in her hands ahead. Watch her hawk on the defensive end.
McKeer connects! How about this freshman? She has had 5 double-figure scoring games in the NCAA tournament after she had 3 all regular season.
She averaged under 6 points per game in the regular season at 14.5 here in the NCAA.
Ledger Walker left alone. Rims out. Rebound. Taken in by UCLA. And Bilic getting minutes here for the Bruins. Didn't play in the semis. Ledger Walker. She got it. How about Bilic getting early minutes for UCLA? Often they do not go to an 8th player.
She did not play at all in the semifinal game. Sienna Betts also in here. Corey close buying her starters some minutes.
Edwards, no. Okot the rebound. Knocked away. Tessa Johnson gets it back. A 16-10 UCLA lead. Okot left alone. Can't hit. Long rebound UCLA, and it's going the other way. The foul called against Edwards.
Because of the way South Carolina plays defense, you know you can get a flare screen on the backside, and that's what we saw on the last possession. Sienna Betts comes up, sets the screen, McKeer gets caught, and that is why Ledger Walker was wide open for that three. Corey Close told us even before their game against Texas that they thought they could get that action.
Charlize Ledger Walker, one of the all-time greats at Washington State, scored 1,743 points there. Was injured last season at UCLA. A huge part of what the Bruins have been doing this season. Dugalich lobs it in, and Okot on the front knocks it away. Jaquez had it poked from Johnson, and it last hits the Bruins. It'll be South Carolina ball. Hey, the Frozen Four begins Thursday on ESPN2 at 5 p.m. For more information on upcoming NCAA championships, go to ncaa.com. Entertaining start to this national championship game. UCLA 50% from the floor in the first quarter. After they and Texas really struggled to score on Friday night. McKeer gets it back. Okot? No. And Betts the rebound. Okot now 1 of 6 to start.
She simply just doesn't look like she's comfortable out there right now in the spaces where she's catching it with the defenders she has.
Jaquez trying to save it, could not. And UCLA turns it over. 23 turnovers the other night for Corey Close's team. The most by any team in a Final Four win since Kansas back in 1988. But a lot of UCL players were actually encouraged by the fact they were able to win a game like that. They hadn't been in a ton of low-scoring games, gritty, grinded out, grimy battles, and they felt encouraged that they were able to find a path to victory in a game like that, as Betts having a little trouble there on the bench. So Betts checks out. Meanwhile, Alicia Tornabese, the 18-year-old freshman who joined South Carolina mid-season in. Jaquez gets whistled for the foul. We have our rules analyst, Dee Kantner, with us today. Dee, who officiated 26 Final Fours, as you see Lauren Betts saying, I have something stuck in my throat. And Dee, I know you've liked just the way the officials have set the tone early here today.
I do. I think they've done an excellent job of setting the tempo, communicating to the players, freedom of movement, what they're going to allow in this game. They've been consistent.
With the lineup that UCLA has on the floor, they can switch all 5 positions as you saw there.
Rice comes in for the rebound. Betts still trying to navigate whatever's going on in her throat on that UCLA bench. Neefkins goes baseline. Neefkins looking for an angle, finds one short. Sienna Betts, no, knocked out of bounds by Black. Will stay with the Bruins.
Certainly need to keep an eye on the Lauren Betts situation. She is so important offensively and defensively. The multiple positions that she defends on the defensive end impacts how UCLA guards deny.
Rice short, rebound Edwards. And the Bruins survive these minutes with Betts on the bench. McDaniel off to Tornabese. That jumper won't go. Knocked out of bounds by Dugalich. It stays with South Carolina. And you see Betts is still trying to work out whatever's going on there on the bench, coughing into that towel. And you can see her saying, I don't know what's happening. You just certainly hope Lauren Betts is okay. First and foremost, her health. And then that she can get back into this game and be the factor that the country knows her to be. Here's McKeer. What a play by Dugalich. Jaquez off the deflection. Neepkins, guarded by Latson, has size on her. Neepkins doesn't get the roll. And Latson the rebound. Under a minute to go in the first quarter. Maddie McDaniel scoots in, can't bank it in. Rebound knocked out of bounds by Tornabese. It'll be UCLA ball.
But I think it's good for South Carolina, whether it's Latson or McDaniel, to try to get downhill, get some dribble penetration, then you can dump it off to your post for a layup or perhaps kick out for a three.
UCLA started this game 4 of 5 from the floor. They're 2 of 11 since. Many of those 11 attempts with Lauren Betts back on the bench. Here's Neepkins, lobbing it in. Dugalich surrounded, quick turn, and the finish for Angela Dugalich.
And to sense the double team coming from the middle side and then to go back to the baseline.
McDaniel went too early. South Carolina should have held for one. And now UCLA will have a chance to, as Rice peels out. Four seconds left. Rice a three. You bet!